Shabbat Shalom. How's everyone? I'm good. I am disheveled and crazy, and this shirt reminds me of 11 from Stranger Things. It's Friday. I went to work. I just got in a few minutes ago. Good night at the restaurant. Pretty chill evening. Mostly people on dates. Not a lot of craziness in the house tonight. Sometimes it's pretty rowdy. Last weekend it was like super busy and rowdy, and tonight it was just sort of like low key, not too rowdy, but good enough. It's good times. Let's talk about our cards for the weekend. So I do pull cards Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and write about what we've pulled on Instagram. So you can find me there at Liz_Taylor_Magick. Magick is spelt with a CK. So if you follow me there, you can get the kind of a head start on what we'll be talking about in the evenings. That's when I do my videos. But yeah, so today sometimes the messages are completely different, like from morning and the evening, because there's all these different points that I want to talk about that I just didn't have room to write about. But today it's like really straightforward and simple. I love this because it's like, we have been real distressed, y'all. Our first card was 9 of Swords, and this isn't the greatest card to see. It usually means you're going to be like rattled with fear and anxiety. But when I saw it, I knew it was a good sign, because the 9 is the culmination. It can be the end. And we have been getting the 10 of Swords card a lot lately, like the end of a difficult period. And we've been specifically out of this deck getting the version of the 10 of Swords that says everything is fine, right? So I feel like we're coming to the end of many long-held patterns of just mental habits and mindsets, and just the way that your kind of thinking process goes to default, or if you tend to kind of play out dramas in your head or catastrophize things or whatever. We can really overcome that and make a big change and completely like become renewed and decide to put it behind us and no more, right? The astrology and like all of the energy and everything right now is really supporting that. But it's up to you to develop the mindfulness and the practice and the consciousness to stay on yourself about it, because it's not like something you just change and it's gone forever. I mean, every now and then we can kind of pull that off, but for the most part, when we make these changes in ourselves, it's like a habit and a practice that we have to kind of devote ourselves to. So you can change. You do not have to do everything the same way that you've always done. You do not have to keep doing the same things, and you certainly do not have to keep thinking about things the same way. We've been having a lot of Swords cards in general, which tells me that, a lot has been on our mind, but it's also been our mental landscape where the work needs to get done, as far as like our inner world, in order for the outer world to sort of iron out its kinks. So it's like crazy, because lately it's been less emotional and more of a mental hurdle to overcome. But I think we're doing good. And I think that, also too, we're approaching Rosh Hashanah. And so the 7 weeks leading up to Rosh Hashanah, there's a lot of, it's like a whole 7-week period of soul tests. And it's like everything, all the lessons that maybe you kind of need a second go at, or like little tests and things that you didn't pass quite, with flying colors. Everything is going to circle back around to give you like a do-over again before the big judgment day of Rosh Hashanah, right? So you might notice that this is the challenging several weeks, but if you can maintain and practice self-control and just catch things as they come and allow yourself to go slow. Don't be reflexively reactive. It's been very hard for me. I am menstrual, and I've been like a wild animal as far as like having my emotions are all over the place right now, and I've really wanted to be snippy, but I've just been like, don't do anything that's gonna like set off like a domino effect, or like have like backlash that you that you can't repair, right? So just calm yourself. There's really nothing to worry about. And I love the follow-up cards for this. So we got the 9 of Swords, which is a card about unnecessary fears and unfounded worry and fretting and just being up at night, not being able to sleep through the night because you're like, you know, you wake up and you have so much on your mind or so much on your chest. So I think that we are kind of fretful about something right now, and we have a fretty energy, and we need to sort of just let go. There's like something that's sort of like, we've snagged our sweater on an issue and we're like walking and it's just unraveling us and we don't even realize it. So we need to like cut that thread and let go of obsessing about whatever issue this is, because however it's going to play out, it can't play out when your energy is like this. You have to release and let the situation sort of breathe and give it air before it will change at all, before you even know which way the wind will blow, right? We don't know in what direction it's going to happen, because right now the fear and the desire to control the situation is having too much of a negative impact on it. It's causing like a bottleneck, right? Now our follow-up card is the Empress. The Empress is sitting in the comfort that she has worked hard for and put her intention to. The Empress is one of the characters in the major arcana who have actually balanced the masculine and the feminine. You know, she is an active feminine energy where the Empress takes action in the outer world because her inner world is so fertile and rich, and it's been like prepared, and so her outer world is showing that too. She also has Venus associated with her. She's associated with Taurus. So if you have a lot of Venus influencing you right now, that might be showing in the fact that you're feeling a lot more comfortable or like at home with yourself, a lot more comfortable in your own skin, and like your actual physical kingdom is starting to bear fruit, and it's starting to grow, and it's starting to become more beautiful and more luxurious and more comfortable and more of an expression of you and your creativity. So don't worry. Everything is panning out fine. Everything is like, your plan is all falling into place. And like the Empress has been successful, right? The Empress is successful and fruitful. She's usually pregnant. So whatever it is that you're worried about, don't worry, because you're set up for success and you're pregnant with a lot of potential here. There's a lot of value in the situation. So things are going to play out positively. You will reap value from this. It's just you need to practice patience, right? It's the lack of patience right now that's causing all of this anxiety. So, and it's the lack of patience that's making you focus on the lack of having all of this instead of just focusing on the fact that you already have this at some level, right? There's already, you know, some of these aspects around you. So right now, there's only so much you can do because the pieces are falling into place, and we live in a world of space and time. So sometimes it takes a few minutes for the universe to catch up with your intentions as it's moving the parts and pieces. So have patience. Your seeds are very well planted. They will bear fruit soon enough. You've not put effort in vain. Your efforts will not go to waste. But you do have to be patient, because if you are focusing on feeling impatient, then you're telling the universe that you lack what you want. And you're also disconnecting yourself from the fulfillment. So what you want in the meantime, instead of being impatient, practice the fulfillment, this feeling being here now. So as this girl waiting on her seeds to grow, which that bothers me about this depiction of the card. It's like she's like looking at a plant that doesn't even fruit. So it doesn't quite add up. But in the original tarot, it's the character is like watering a mound of like something that hasn't grown yet. So put yourself in the future state of this, right? Embody this vibe, right? Be this now, but have the Sasha Fierce mood going for yourself, right? And the more that you can feel and embody this state within your situation now, the more you're gonna be a magnet and send out a clear signal for the beacon to attach to for like your manifestation to come to you, right? So there's really no need to worry. Everything is playing out in your favor. Your plan for world domination is all falling into place. It's all going as expected. It's all going according to plan. So don't fret, just have patience, all right? The Seven of Pentacles is all about having patience. It's about something that takes a while to bear fruit, right? It's something that's like, it's not just an overnight quick fix kind of situation. It's something that takes a little bit of time. So don't worry, everything is on time. You're not behind, you know, nothing's wrong, nothing's off. It's just like rinse and repeat. Keep doing what you're doing. Maintain your high vibe and your mood. Try not to short circuit. Don't snap at anyone, and don't feed your fears, right? Don't obsess. Put your attention elsewhere, because obsessive energy and being like too latched onto something and too wanting to control and too needy for it repels the manifestation. Because in the end, what you're really telling the universe with your heart magnet, that's the magnetism you're sending out, is that you lack, you want, you need. So you're gonna get more lack, more wanting, more needing. So what you want to do, I have everything. I'm so grateful for all of these wonderful things that I can imagine. It's like, what is she daydreaming about? She's daydreaming about how she's going to be this soon, and how she already is, and she can feel it, and she can already feel the excitement and the fulfillment that will come, that's already here now, actually. You're not waiting for it to arrive. You're just wearing a different outfit in this scene, right? All right, you guys. I'm going to make some dinner. I don't think I need to water the garden tonight because it did rain earlier, so I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna watch something good. I've been rewatching Outlander and I love it. It's the best. I did not read the books. The show is good enough. But I love Claire Frazier. She adds so many syllables to everything. I don't know what the actress is like usually in or whatever, but she cracks me up. She's like this, I don't know if you know what this show's about, but spoiler alert. There's a moment where like the plot of the show is like this woman has like accidentally time traveled back to the 1740s, and she's traveled from like the 1940s, and so it's kind of like it's a romance novel adapted into a show. And it's so funny because the first time me and my ex-boyfriend were watching it, we just thought it was like some BBC show or something. We didn't know anything about it. And when we started watching it, I was like, okay, all right, what's happening? And then all of a sudden there's like super long sex scenes playing out to like, with like no cutaways. And you're like, wow, they're really getting into it. And I'm like, what is this? And it's like, the plot kept unfolding, and like people kept like getting their bodices ripped, and like nipples kept getting threatened by swords. And I looked at him and I go, is this a romance novel? And then we looked it up, and it was like literally, it was exactly, it was a romance novel, a real bodice ripper. But it's actually a really good story. And Claire and Jamie, they're like total soulmates. But what's really funny is that, so I was going to say, is that Claire adds all these, like, she adds all these syllables in. She's such a proper English lady. And so in one of the scenes where she had just, like, she's just time traveled, this is in the first season, and she's not really, like, used to anything yet. And this, she finds herself being taken into this castle, and she's kind of, like, taken prisoner in a way, but they're like treating her like a guest, and the lady of the house, like the housekeeper lady's trying to help her get dressed, and so she's got her like modern underwear on instead of like all the garb, and the housekeeper lady goes, oh, what you got on that? And she's like, it is my brassiere, it's French. And it's like, I've never heard any syllable, like so many syllables added into like a brassiere. It's like, it's my brassiere. It's like brassiere, but she like breathes it out. It's like brassiere. I don't know. It's like she gets like 10 syllables in there in every word. It's my husband, Jamie Frazier. He's my husband. She'd probably say schedule. I'll check my schedule to see if I'm available. All right, you guys, I'm getting crazy and going loopy, and now I'm talking about collaboration. All right, y'all, be good. Ciao.